You better drop that air raid sign. It's time for Monday Morning Fallout. Monday Morning Fallout, of course, when we overreact to the football weekend. And I will say that like we do the air raid siren at the top of every week of Monday Morning Fallout. I don't know if there's something above air raid siren, but that's what we would need for this week.
This week was wild, man. I mean, I wrote in our my Friday Night 5 column on our website. I can't remember a bi-district round that exciting. I really can't.
I said it on Fox, and they clipped it and they tweeted it.
Yeah.
It was something like I said on Fox that as it was coming in on Friday night, I was like, let's get into it.
Yeah.
3 big thoughts.
Yeah.
Thought number 1, sifting through the wreckage. I said it on Fox. I'll say it again. That is maybe the most crazy town banana pants first round of the Texas high school football playoffs I've seen in a long time. And I think that because, look, there is an argument to be made. I disagree with it, but some people argue that too many teams make the playoffs.
Right. We are not part of that camp.
We're not. But the argument is, waters it down, makes the first round not exciting. You couldn't be more wrong this week. You really couldn't be.
Yeah.
We had absolute carnage across the brackets. I tweeted this the other day. Consider this. In the first round of the playoffs, we lost a 6A runner-up in the Woodlands.
Yep.
We lost a 6A semifinalist in Katy Cinco Ranch. We lost a 4A Division I state finalist in Abilene Wiley. We lost a 3A Division I state champion in Mineola, which is something that's not getting talked about enough. We lost a 3A Division I semifinalist in, I think that's Abernathy. We lost a 3A Division II semifinalist and a 2A Division I semifinalist. All gone in the first round of the playoffs.
Wow.
And that's not they didn't make the playoffs. That means they got beat. They got beat.
Yeah.
There were upsets all over the place. It was ridiculous. Whether it's Rockwall over the Woodlands, which is probably the biggest of the bunch. We'll talk to their coach here in a minute.
Yeah.
Then you go to things like Panhandle beating Abernathy.
Yeah.
There are people I think you and I had them in a regional final at least, maybe winning the region.
Yeah. Thought they'd catch fire, go get hot. Nope, they're gone.
They're gone. Just like that.
Yep.
Between that, we had Hondo did it again.
Yeah.
Little ding dong Hondo. Hondo, who made the playoffs at 1-9 last year and beat 9-1 Divine. This year they upped the difficulty level and they were 2-8 and they beat 10-0 Pearsall.
Yep.
They did it there. There were upsets all over the darn place.
Paul Roberts, whose football opinions we can trust.
Trustworthy football opinions. Yes.
Says never discount Panhandle. Paul, I trust your opinions, but I need to hear this before the game happens.
I was absolutely
not after.
Discounting Panhandle. Yeah. Absolutely. Done with them. We had Vernon beat Glenrose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, everywhere you looked. And then that's not to mention the wacky games we had. Like Port Neches, Groves, and Crosby.
Which we thought would be wacky and lived up to the hype and then some.
72-69.
Yep.
Rashawn Johnson goes for 10 touchdowns.
Yep. That's all.
It was as wild and a first round of the playoffs as we've seen in a long, long time.
It's insane, man.
And that doesn't even count like the near misses.
Right.
Texas High took the Highland Park to the wire.
Yeah. Dieball pushed Gilmer for
Dieball
3/4.
very nearly knocked off Gilmer.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot of games that were this close to it being just absolute chaos instead of the just like, chaos all over the place. It was
we didn't even talk. Ishmael Johnson was at a 3 overtime game between Liberty Hill and Bernie.
And speaking of Ishmael Johnson, San Marcos was down like
29-0 in the first quarter
and came back and won.
What?
It was a ludicrous first round of the Texas High School.
We're spoiled because it only gets better from here.
Thought number 2, agony and ecstasy. If you look across the college ranks, it was really a mixed bag, right? Because if you're a team like North Texas, you get a thrilling, it was superb, what a fun game that was, win over Army, kind of avenged the bowl loss last year. If you're Texas, you finally were able to put it all together into that big signature win you were looking for.
Yeah, needed that road win, everything. It's that positive big win you needed to get bowl eligibility.
Bowl eligible. Everything's fine there.
We ought to look at a broken finger, but
right.
That's,
I think in a lot of respects, if you're UTSA,
yeah.
it was ugly. It was ugly as sin.
Yeah.
But they won.
Yeah.
And they kicked a field goal in the final seconds to win that game. So there was the ecstasy there, and then there was the agony, right? That Rice played maybe their best game of the year and couldn't finish off Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Texas Tech maybe played their worst game of the year against TCU. Baylor hung with Iowa State until they didn't.
Yep.
And kind of, I have some Matt Rule coaching questions after that game. There was a real mixed bag of results. A&M goes to Ole Miss, and they take care of business. And now you look forward, and you can say, well, Kevin Sumlin's going to Death Valley and coaching for his job.
Yeah.
And it is an odd slate of results across the state in the college football ranks, and they really ran the gambit, across the emotional spectrum. And thought number 3, it's only the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this, as kind of high school scoreboard live was dying down on Friday night. And I was thinking about, how there's just, a lot of these brackets been turned upside down. And a lot of these teams that we thought were going to be there and challenging and maybe sleepers are out. And teams that we thought were going to be done and dusted are still in it. And I just thought about the fact that we've still got 5 more weeks of this.
5 more weeks. And we came in, not just to this playoffs, but this season thinking, hey, this is the most wide-open field we've had in years. You never know what's going to happen. There are very few clear favorites. And then we were all dumb enough to make picks that we felt good about.
And then,
right?
The thing is, we should have seen this coming, right?
Should have seen it coming. Make all these picks, and then you're, devastated that, you lose 3 regional finalists in the first week.
I was, in a lot of respects, we were kind of talking out both sides of our mouth. That, on one hand, we were like, this is going to be, wide open. Anybody can win it. And then we're like, we think these teams are going to win it.
Right.
I don't know. It's just, and the great part of it is that it's Thanksgiving week, and we got this week, and then a whole nother month in the road to Arlington.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm really excited about it. 3 helmet stickers. A helmet sticker to Waco La Vega running back John Richards. He ran for 286 yards and 3 touchdowns, which is good. And normally we'll get you a helmet sticker.
#good.
The more amazing thing is that he ran for 286 yards and 3 touchdowns on 8 carries.
8.
286 divided by 8 for those is 35.7 yards per carry.
That's insane. Absolutely insane.
That's the
8 carries.
That's the dumbest stat line of the week. And that includes everything that happened in that PNG Crosby game. Waco La Vega running back John Richards gets a helmet sticker.
Yeah.
So does Texas offensive tackle Connor Williams. We don't get to talk enough about the big hog mollies, but he came back after his injury, and it showed.
Yep.
The offense looked noticeably better against West Virginia.
Much better.
And I think a lot of that has to do with having Connor Williams back. He didn't give up a sack. He was pretty solid in his first game back. Connor Williams gets a helmet sticker, the Texas tackle. And so does Southlake Carroll running back T.J. McDaniel. 311 yards and 5 touchdowns rushing. This was the DQ big game of the week, and so we kept getting highlights, and all the highlights were just T.J. McDaniel. It was like they were bringing me a new shot sheet, which is where they write the highlights on it. They're bringing me a new shot sheet. I'm like, I don't need it. Just tell me how many yards.
Just tell me how many yards.
Yeah, it was like 48. Okay, 48.
T.J. McDaniel again. Okay.
72. Got it. Okay, that's fine. T.J. McDaniel for Southlake Carroll gets a helmet sticker. 3 teams to watch. Rockdale. The Tigers. This was a big matchup, and we thought that the winner was going to be in the catbird seat to maybe at least challenge for that region. Yeah. And I'll tell you, right now, their win over Malakoff is really impressive.
Yeah.
That's a really impressive win over a good Malakoff team.
Really good.
And all of a sudden, you look at Rockdale, and they got to be considered, I think, co-favorite, at least co-favorite in 3A Division I Region 3. They look very, very good in their win over Malakoff. A&M Commerce.
What a win
for
the Lions.
On the road to Minnesota and beat Winona.
Number 4 in the nation.
Number 4. I will say, I don't know if you heard, but so I got a text from our buddy Josh Mank, and he said, hey, the local Minnesota TV station in Winona is going to broadcast the game, and they want to run your Luis Perez segment, and we're like,
why not?
Sure, go for
it.
So. Hello to all our newfound Minnesotan viewers. Good to see you. A&M Commerce, a team to watch. They're still alive. and Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial, a team that playing in their first playoff game, they looked awful comfortable. They looked real good.
Yeah.
Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial gets their first playoff win in their program history. Congratulations.
They've looked like seasoned vets all year.
They really have.
It's been awesome.
Normally, this would be the time we do 3 teams to worry about, but there's no use in worrying because the teams
We're
we're
already
worried
here.
about are probably
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So let's go 3 to C. 3 games
right.
to keep an eye on for
Okay.
this upcoming week. Converse Judson and Lake Travis, 2 o'clock Saturday at DKR in Austin. Look, I don't need to sell you on this. I think the winner of this game is the overwhelming Region 4 favorite in 6A Division 1. I think you could, if you want to take it a step further, you could make an argument that the winner of this game, Converse Judson and Lake Travis, is a favorite to get to is at least a favorite to get to AT&T Stadium and play for a title. So that is a game that you will not want to miss.
That's a state championship level game in the second round, folks. Do not miss it.
And it's a rematch.
Yeah.
Texas A&M at number 20 LSU, 6:30 p.m. Saturday night in Death Valley. It is the hurdle that Kevin Sumlin has never been able to clear, and he probably needs to clear it to keep his job.
And there's, you know what? If you had come to me 3 weeks ago and asked me, I'd say there's no chance. But they're playing well. Starkle looks good.
Playing better.
Played better, but I mean the point is more just it's kind of like I was talking about last week. Look, yes, they're not what they should be. I think if you have the sort of expectations that those fans do, but you can't help but wonder at this point what this season would look like if Starkle was healthy the whole time.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. And Richland Springs and Milford.
Oh boy,
is if it weren't for Judson and Lake Travis, this is the game of the week. 6-man game, 7:30 p.m. Friday in Hamilton. This is the 6-man game of the year, in my opinion. That we will find out the winner. I think the winner of this. I think the winner of this wins the state championship. I'm dead serious.
Okay.
I think this is in some order number 1 and number 2.
I think the folks in Balmorhea might have something
something to say, but they would have to play them in a title game, and at that point. I think that right now you can make a real argument that whoever wins this game wins the state championship.
All right.
And so Richland Springs and Milford is 1-2C this week, and that is Monday Morning Fallout.